Hello, my name is Quartey-Smith and I'll be talking on TSA. Flying is something that almost every person has had to do at least once. Everyone can agree that it is tiring but necessary. Security can be one of the biggest headaches. The Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, distributes these security checks, but they are very ineffective. What if you found out that all of the stress wasn't helping anyone? The TSA is very bothersome. They perform intrusive and uncomfortable that can leave flyers in distress. In 2016, a woman named Angela Rai was recorded being given an intimate pat down that left her in tears at the end of the video. In another accident in 2017, a young boy was recorded being given an incredibly invasive pat down by a TSA officer. The boy had sensory processing disorder, and the pat down left him in distress. Some of the TSA's searches could possibly also be unconstitutional. Some believe that the TSA's excessive searches could violate the Fourth Amendment, which states the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized. The Supreme Court has decided minimally invasive searches can be done without a warrant, but as shown before, the searches done by the TSA are not minimally invasive. This overabundance of supposed security measure can also make getting through the terminal slower. Before, it was expected to only take 10 to 15 minutes to get through. Long lines have no doubt caused flight to be missed. You might ask, does it matter as long as we are safe? Well, we are not really safe. You might think you are protected by the amount of security, but the TSA is very bad at its job. In an experiment conducted by Homeland Security agents on 70 different flights, they tried to get fake guns and bombs onto planes past security. Out of the 70 flights, the agents were successful on 67 of them, which is almost a 95% success rate. Security experts claim that even though the number doesn't tell the full story, the number is high enough that is dangerous. The TSA also had something called the sports program, which was supposed to help agents spot suspicious people, but instead opened the door for racial profiling. Only 14% of the people that the agents spotted were given to officers. Only 6% of that 14% were arrested. None of the arrests were linked to terrorism. By making a system where officers could treat people differently based on their looks, racial profiling. Instead of offering real security, the TSA offers something called security theater, which is useless. Security theater is the idea of making things seem complicated in order to give the appearance of security to outsiders. The TSA, as shown in the points beforehand, is terribly at its job, but attempts to make up for it by trying to convince you that it is doing something. It tricks you by making you believe you are safe. That were in place before the TSA worked just fine and were less expensive. Things such as reinforcing the cockpit door, adding air marshals, and just getting the word out of the public is enough to keep most terrorists from carrying out their plans. Even technology before the TSA was enough to stop some bombers. The technology still screened for obvious bombs, so one potential terrorist had to use other methods. In trying to make it as discreet as possible, they caused a lot of disruptions, alerting the fellow passengers. Before they could even manage for the bomb to go off, the potential bomber was arrested. That goes toward the TSA can instead be put towards things such as covert operations. Intelligence works almost all the time, and it works with their targets. Intelligence is usually a lot less money per year because it only requires monetary suspicious folks, not the entirely of the traveling public. Covert operations are confidential, so unlike airport security, where a terrorist can find out easily what we are doing and work around it. Doing that with intelligence is much harder. This is all a big deal, even if you don't fly, because this wastes government funds, otherwise known as taxpayer dollars. The TSA is a nuisance to its customers and put potential flyers off. For all the resources put into it, the TSA is very ineffectively when it comes to protecting flyers. Lastly, the TSA wastes money that could be used to help with other important issues. We need to find out another way to protect those who fly, one that is more pleasant, more effective, and less expensive. Thank you for listening to me, and I have two of my audience with me. Thank you.